Alright, we're back again. I'm here with Matthew. Say hi, Matthew.
Hello, this is Matthew in quotation marks.
Okay, Zodi. I'm back
Yes,
here
this
with
is
Zodi
Zodi.
again, and I just have in the background the min-roof BT footage, I think. Is this the BT footage? Actually, no, this is just the story chapter footage. Okay. So, hold on. I forgot to put this in a different spot. Okay. So, I think main thing we want do you want to start out with the elephant in the room? With the gem thing?
Oh yes, yes, about the gem cap,
Because that's
about
implemented in JP right now, and it's been confirmed that it blocks out any purchases, no mod passes, no costumes, no regular gem packs, none of that.
yeah, I heard people saying that you didn't get gems, but I didn't realize that downright, blocks it out. That's not good. I heard rumors, now these are rumors, I'm not gonna say it's allegedly, that there was some legality issues with people. 40 did a really good job explaining it, where people were giving their account to somebody and they were charging, on multiple accounts so they wouldn't get traced, and they were asking for refunds back, so it's sort of like a chargeback scheme. And people were retaining these gems while people were also getting their money back. So,
Yeah, that
yeah,
kind
it
of
sounds
seems
like they had
shady.
to do. Yeah, no, exactly. It sounds like they either had to do that because their hands were forced by, uh, I don't know
By
the
this,
exact details, but yeah, by like, there was a ruling made and they had to do it or they wouldn't be in, good legal standing in Japanese courts.
yeah, but at the same time, I wish that if they did do this for like implement this immediately, they have like a backup solution. Is like, okay, so we know that a lot of people are going to be pretty angry about this and not going to be very happy about this, and we're stepping on a lot of eggshells with this. But it's like if they include, like, oh yeah, and now we're also including all the bundles with without gems, so then you can purchase all these things and still support the game without having to like be at the gem cap
Yeah, no,
or
I understand.
like implement an option that says, hey, you want to use paid gems first before free gems. Like, have backup options for those that still want to continue supporting the game, because I see it as those people that are free to play are still going to stay free to play. The whales are supporting the game. The whales, this does shit out the whales because they know how to play the game. They are pulling strategically. Um,
Oh, true.
this isn't going to push like the players who were free to play or barely spend on the game to spend more, or even push them to spend. So in the end, it's going to be like a lose-lose for a lot of these, for Square Enix and Team Ninja, or whoever is main supporter developing this game.
Yeah, I would just make like one note though, is it's if you spend over 300,000 gems, worth. It's not that you have 300,000 gems total, because I have seen people get confused about that. It's
Mm-hmm.
buying that much.
Yeah, it's
The average person who spends, if you're gonna get Mog Pass occasionally, you shouldn't rank up that
yeah.
amount in quite a long time. It could still happen,
The
but
vast
if you're not
majority
buying
aren't going to
multiple
hit.
costumes,
Yeah,
yeah.
the vast majority of players are not going to be hitting that 200,000 paid gem cap at all. Like you and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that you and I are both like far, far, far below 300k gems.
Yes, on both servers, especially on global at the moment. But yeah, on
Yeah,
both servers, I'm definitely below that.
I usually don't keep, usually don't aren't able to hold on to more than 100k gems at more than one time, because usually RNG's like
Same.
that.
Yeah, no, exactly. After today, when Monroe comes out, not trying to get a little ahead of, I can see being down a lot of gems. So it happens. But like you said, with the whales that do keep up the community, I understand their concern and wanting them to be able to spend, because that's what ultimately keeps this game alive, and it's ultimately, like a lifeline for it, especially on the global side where they have foresight. Like, I can see that really hurting that side more
Mm-hmm.
than maybe the JP, but yeah, no, I understand it's definitely an area for concern, and I'm hoping they'll find some type of workaround.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it was sort of a sudden thing that was thrusted upon them. They gave us a month's worth of notification on the JP end. A lot of people didn't bring it to the community's light and, full attention until the day before, which I thought was kind of bizarre. They had an entire month to say, like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, we're going to have an issue with the pay gems. We can't get over this cap. I just thought it was weird. I'm not seeing anyone. A lot of people did response videos to the ones that really blew up the story, and like I said, 40 I think did the best job of breaking this down.
Yeah, Jin Lee also as well did a good video on it if you didn't check it, but I gave it a listen, and yeah, his points are pretty valid. Like,
Yeah.
it's like basically my points that I made were like, yeah, no one's gonna spend, like, the whales are supporting the game. This basically and is going to be cutting down a lot of revenue for them because those players are the main supporters, even though they're a minority in this
Yeah.
in this game. But yeah, but 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 I don't want to make this too long. But hopefully they come out with a statement or an actual response for this soon, and then hopefully the JP side also has a good response and a good alternative. I mean, there's no way they're not going to like revoke this like change and say and put like a band-aid fix on it, but do something like, oh yeah, the gem cap is going to be increased from 300k to 600k. It's like that's not really going to fix everything. That's just gonna. I'm pretty sure like there's already people way above that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that ain't gonna really
But,
help anything. But they just need
but
to do the one of those two fixes I mentioned before. Hopefully.
yeah, from my understanding, like I said, this is hearing stuff secondhand. I'm no legal expert either, but there was a court order that basically forced their hands on doing this. So I can sympathize in that way, and I also sympathize with the people who can't buy stuff as well. It's just a messed up situation through and through. Nor am I trying to excuse anything that might come across as mismanagement of this either. It's weird. Japanese gacha laws in general are weird. I just find it odd they carried it over to the global side
Mm-hmm.
of the game. That is one thing I can agree with is, odd. But I don't know the entire details because Square Enix's, or like you said, it's either Square Enix or Team Ninja's legal team didn't come forward and give an exact statement of what happened. They just sort of gave us a summary, and
They
that's
kind of
it.
just thrust this onto us, and then without giving us a follow up with saying, oh, okay, so here's what we're going to do to kind of like continue to help those players who want to continue to support the game and how they want to how they can. I mean, they didn't do that, and hopefully they come out with one soon.
Hopefully so. No, I totally agree.
But yeah, final thoughts are majority of players aren't going to be affected by this. The minority of whales who do support the game heavily are going to be the ones greatly affected by this, and Square Enix as a whole and the app entirely is going to be affected by this.
Yeah, I would just say, like, if anyone just casually supports the game, just mind how much you're spending, first of all. I'm not trying to tell people what to do with their money. Pay attention how close you are to the gem cap, and if you never reach it, there shouldn't be any issues. But as for, like, the whales, like I said, I feel bad for them. Hope they come up with a solution where they can spend the gems they paid for
Yeah, because
without having to just throw it at anything, because that's
mm-hmm.
messed up.
It
That
would,
sort of defeats the
yeah, it
purpose
would
of the
suck
game.
for those that are like big supporters of FF7 that they missed the Aerith and Tifa costumes.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, if I was at Gem Cap and I couldn't get that Charlotta costume, I'd be upset.
Yeah,
So, I definitely understand.
But do you want to move on to the big news of like the new character that's coming literally like in 3.5 hours?
Yes. Yes, no, I would love to. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen the data mine a couple days ago that it was Minwoo.
I mean, I have no idea who this character is anyway. I've heard like one person mention this character before like this was even announced about like just the character in general, but I never know who this character was at all. I know
He's
some people are not happy that this is the new character we're getting.
I'm surprised that a lot of people are upset about him because generally he was a well-received character from FF2. I'm not gonna pretend like I beat Final Fantasy 2 or all that. For what little I played of it, he left a strong impact on me. Basically, at the beginning of the game, he's the one that saved. I think he either revives Furion and crew from dying because they get slaughtered at the very beginning of the game. He brings them back, and he sort of puts them on their quest of being a part of the rebellion against the Emperor. But that's basically his story. And he does other stuff, and eventually, I guess he has the usual thing where he dies. Spoiler. And they have like a rebirth mode on DS1 or not DS1, Game Boy Advance game that he actually was like a protagonist. So that's why originally I thought he was getting a BT until they threw away all the rules. So I mean, they could have said that, but hey, he's still in the game, so I'm happy. But sorry, history aside about him, he looks crazy. He's got all this different stuff in his kit. He deletes. If you want to start talking about that instead of me fanboying over Minwoo, go ahead.
Yeah, so the kind of role he plays is a holy enchanted debuffer trap character. He has some healing in his kit, but most of it is like and turn deletion. But his main kit revolves around a bunch of follow-up attacks and traps. But the way to do that is you have to set the trap up with this skill 2, and then it lasts for 6 turns, and every time that it goes down by one turn, either by his skills or just in general, but by going down by turns, it'll trigger a trap that does a HP dump. Now each one of his skills, basically minus skill 2, will decrease the trap by 1 turn, and basically that's how you get a bunch of like extra follow-ups. And yeah, the BT basically makes it so that the trap triggers additional time by having it decrease an additional turn. But yeah, each one of like, how do I put it? Like each one of his skills basically just works around that whole entire thing. And his LD basically also has like another follow-up attack that's different and all that. But yeah, I mean, without getting nitty-gritty, skill 1 does 3 dumps, skill 2 does 3 dumps, EX is giving you free skill usage afterwards and does like 4 dumps. It plays with the trap by decreasing it by 1 turn. LD has an overhead buff that you see in the footage right now with that shield above his head. Every time that it reaches max stacks, it'll do a follow-up attack that does 3 dumps, but then resets back to 1 or 0. Same thing with skill 1. Once his unique like white mage buff reaches 5 stacks, it'll change skill 1 into a plus version that AoE deletes and also still decreases the trap by 1. But yeah, his FR basically is revolving entirely around his trap and holy damage and damage outside of the turn order, because the conditions are when a party member does a holy command plus 5%, when a party member does an additional attack outside of turn plus 5%. So basically it increases by 10% each time Minwoo's traps or additional attacks occur outside the turn order. So
Yeah, no.
Zodi.
Lots of damage, lots of follow-ups. I definitely see this being the new abusable go-to unit unless they start doing Holy Absorb again.
Yeah.
I definitely see happening because of not only Yuri being able to cheese a lot of stages with his BT effect, or you could just Renoa it, but with this now, you throw that in the mix, it's gonna be nasty. That's my thoughts. Lots of damage, turn deletion.
Yeah, my
I think
thought.
overall a pretty solid character.
Yeah, my thoughts are: A, he looks good. He has relevant like party auras and buffs to the party. Is he better? I mean, his entire role is a trap. Like, he is a DPS unit. Besides that, is he going to outdamage Renoa or Tifa? No, not really. He has a lot of off-turn damage. But besides that, I mean, in terms of support, Luna Freya, I think, still is the queen of supports right now. So if you have those characters, yeah, and you only care about if those characters get beaten out and want to continue saving, then yeah, you can technically skip on this banner. It doesn't. I mean, until like you saw the BT trailer, he didn't really look that good without his BT. But yeah, the BT makes the kit.
Oh, true.
Mm-hmm.
I would even say a similar thing with Tifa. Without her BT, she's not very impressive, but I'm
Yeah.
not trying to argue about unit viability, because she still has a 10-turn BT effect. It's 10 turns, right? I didn't build her, so...
Yes, I think it's 8 turns or 10. I think it's 8 or. But this. Oh yeah. The main thing
Yeah,
is also with this one is his BT only lasts for 6 turns, so it's one of those characters that it's not going to last the entire like FR duration. So you have to time it if you want to get the most out of it. But it seems like it's one of those BT or BTFR things where it's fine to just like let it go off, and as long as you have the FR up already, then the traps and all the stuff will play around or do its own thing and just increase it passively. But yeah, if you get his entire kit, then I might consider if I get his entire kit, I might consider building him. But I'm more leaning towards still building up Arden because I have his FR.
Yeah, no, I got Arden too. I still gotta get his BT. He's the next one I'm eyeing to token. But I see what you mean about him.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your reasoning if you ever know if you have Tifa. He's probably a good alternative to those units if you don't have them. I'm not trying to compare a more support orientated to somebody like Tifa who's pure DPS, but
Yeah,
you know, they do a lot of damage at the moment. There are big DPS options.
yeah. These big
Right.
DPS options are kind of hard to overtake immediately with right now, but I wasn't. I mean, I was pretty sure that was certain that Minwoo was not going to overtake the top spot for DPS. I mean, he's going to be a very viable option no matter what, with what he brings.
Yeah, he's gonna slot well on my Yuri team, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one other thing I was going to talk about. His FR conditions seem. I mean, I'm starting to notice that they're starting to repeat FR conditions. Like, not even making them more specific to the character. They're starting to like make them. We're starting to see repeat of like FR conditions with like Aerith and now Minwoo. With like how Minwoo is like similar to Yuri, and how Aerith's FR is similar to Shalata. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing to say.
No. I don't think that's a bad point to make or a bad thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
It just shows you they're trying to lean towards you really building these party comps that have similar characteristics. I mean, you could still slap core on any team pretty much and
Yep.
have no issues, but they're really trying to push it where units, okay, this unit's a holy type, you want to build a team around the holy unit. Like before, it used to give a little more flexibility. Now they're centralizing it a little more into categories, if that makes any sense. Or
Yeah.
it's sort of like maybe I could use this analogy. It's more like a spider web. Some parts connect to each other and other parts don't, and you have some of these units that could branch off into other categories, and some of them are more of like a centralized hub, so to speak. That's how I view it, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the main character that I'm most excited about that's getting updated is Cisne, which just means that the follow-up meta team gets stronger now that she can help build up the FR like gauge and deal even more damage while the FR is up. So
Yeah, considering she's still the strongest follow-up unit, even with core existing.
Yep. I mean, just being both of them, we just have two follow-up characters, and you have core, you have Cisne, and then Renoa, and then boom, everyone's pretty much dying, and you pretty much win the game. But besides that, Locke got a decent rework. His damage is consistent. I mean, his big HP attack didn't really get much of a change. I think they just updated the Brave heal on it to be bigger so that he can cap easier. Besides that, Vanille, moving on though.
She looked a lot better, but yeah, she always, every time they show her, she looks like something from a previous era.
Yep.
I could be wrong though. I'd love to be corrected. I want to see Vanille do good again. It's been a long time since Vanille's been good. So I would be happy to see her finally perform well. But right now she looks like something we would have had back in the Xenia Plus era. So I'm on the fence about her.
Mm-hmm. But after that, we have some more. I mean, I didn't expect the 5th anniversary to be extended even further by having an end of a 5th anniversary like event after this. Like, all this means is the banner, the people banner to get free FRs, if you have gotten any, is being extended from the entirety of Minwu's polls, like banner polls, so it's until mid-March. And the daily Cactuar tokens have only just been reduced by 1, so instead of getting 5 per day, you get 4. But I think the main thing was that the daily Cactuars, you could just always exchange them for tickets, but now they removed that kind of like the monthly cap of you can only acquire 20 tickets per month from the shop instead of just unlimited like it is on global.
I didn't realize.
Yes.
I still am building up like EX tokens and whatnot because I like to exchange for a lot of EX tokens. I'm one of those people that like spheres, so I never noticed, but if they just changed it, that's pretty cool.
It was only for the anniversary.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Because I've been trying to get as many of those tickets as possible, because every single day is basically 5 free tickets, and they've been giving us tons of the FR passives, like materials from these co-op shop banners. So that's always been good. But besides that, the OPOP showcased or teased the Von FR conditions, which is his actual like ore conditions seem really strong. He grants 2 free SKUs just to allies, and his FR conditions seem very specific, but he basically enables the party to be able to help out with it. So what it does is he grants the allies 2 free skills, and when an ally or anyone uses a free skill, they get they get increased HP damage up, increased HP damage cap up, and the conditions are when a turn passes, when a character uses a free skill, that increases it, DFR like HP damage bonus, and when a turn passes, when a character has at least 20% of their max wave, then HP damage increases again.
Yeah, you can really tell they're pushing. Not saying they do this all the time with the BT units. They really want you to use this during his BT time, or at least
Have their BT up.
after. Yes, have your BT effect up and let your allies go a couple times.
Yeah. Which is good, because that means that you don't have to always keep using the BT, like FR, then immediately go into BT to get the most out of your FR, like HP damage bonus, which I still think is the best way to monopolize the HP damage bonus, to increase it as much as possible.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing though is right now Roja is relevant, so you can pair them two together. Ursula is still hanging on a bit. He could also be a viable candidate, so you don't necessarily need to have his BT effect up.
Yeah.
And also, what's her name? Ursula gets free skills off of her using her LD, so that's always something to note.
Oh yeah, one thing to note is that the free skill usage thing is excluding certain abilities, so yeah, no free LDs or anything as usual.
Yeah.
But
Definitely
yeah.
just the skill 1, skill 2, the 65.
Yep. But besides that, Hope FR, His conditions are just
number 4.
Yeah, his conditions seem decent. I mean, like 13 plus buffs on party. Whenever you battery the party, the increases it FR percentage, and whenever Hope does it, increases it further. Feels like this is going to be the condition for Ramza, except Ramza's going to do it better. Or Ramza is going to be more likable.
Man.
Yeah. Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like he's just.
13 too.
I'm not a big fan of Hope. His kid in this game was okay at the very beginning of the game, as in like when the game literally started, when we had bare bones, like nothing.
Yeah, no, I agree. And as it's evolved, it
just now he basically just clutters your buffs with those defensive buffs that you don't want because they don't add anything other than defense, which is our best offense is now the greatest defense because we kill the bosses before they can even hurt us. And even then, we have better auras that basically protect the party.
I'm hoping they update that with his EX. They give him a loaded bunch of auras like they did with Beatrix. That's the only way I could see saving him at this point. Because like you said, he just clutters things up. Yeah, he could charge the FR gauge fast, but have a lot of buff slots up. Very few units could actually pair up with something like that, especially with them taking up as much real estate, especially ones that have to use their LD or something to get going.
Yeah.
I know there's not too many units that are left like that, but they still exist. Isn't Titus still like that?
What?
Where he needs to use his LD to get started?
Not anymore. Because he starts the quest out with his stackable buff, so he can immediately get going and use his skill once and just go to start doing damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you mean. It's just like, I mean, I guess if you're a fan of him, like myself, go for him. If not, he definitely does seem like a bit of a hard sell.
Yep.
We'll only have to wait and see what his rework is, but I was gonna say I'm hoping, but I don't even want to say that. sounds like a bad pun, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed he'll be decent.
I don't really have much faith in him. I mean, his partner is Kafka, which he's getting a rework.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
that's another thing, though. The rework calendar for this month is Locke with Neil tonight, and then Vaughn is in a couple of days on the 4th, then Kafka and Hope, then whoever the new BT character is and the returning BT character is, and at that point it could be literally anyone with the returning BT character. Then Dankert, then RNA, and then Lise. But I was gonna say, like, the returning BT character now could literally be anyone, and with them putting them as like a rework, it doesn't mean anyone. It could be someone as minor with a rework as like the hell they could throw Zack in here just because they want to, and just make it so that his rework is all of his skills have higher brave heal, and that's it.
yeah.
Just like what they did with Tifa. Or they could do pull Onion Knight and just only rework the LD boards, and that's it.
I could see them doing that.
Yeah, I mean the BT character can literally be anyone. If we don't, I mean, the mid-month BT character, it was teased to be Celeste or data mine to be Celeste. So, I mean, if it's Onion Knight, then cool, because he needs to be updated. But
Completely agree. He's
yeah.
way too low tier.
Mm-hmm. But,
Like, he was decent for the first week, and then he just got crept way too quick.
Yep. Besides that, some new quality of life stuff. I checked out the new character summary thing. Basically, it just tells us it just gives you a big old list of all your characters and their icons in the party menu, and then the character view summary of like the crystal levels, the weapon, armor, and passive, like summon board and character board, like how much have you built of them, and you can kind of like sort through that easier to see without going through all like seeing them only in like a block of 3 characters at a time in a row. I mean, it's nice, but
Yeah.
I can't really tell. I mean, I usually just sort them out and always have like preset teams.
Same. I do that. I sort them by attack.
I sort them by board master, like the character board mastered, and all the boards mastered, and then crystal level. So then and it's all sorted by the Final Fantasy like games, the number of them. So I just know where to go. And then lastly, they added a button to quickly navigate between the arcs, which is cool. And I think they also said that they're also going to add a little button for the 6-man quest to be able to find where the hell the next fight is. Like, did you have the same problem I did where, like, when the second 6-man party event started, you had no idea where the second one was?
I thought it was weird. It was all the way at the bottom.
Yeah, I was like looking around. It's like, where is it? It's like I clicked on one. It's like that's only the first fight, and then I saw someone streaming it. And it's like they scrolled down all around the area, and then they finally found it. Which just seems like, yeah, it's confusing that they had that kind of system in the first place.
I don't understand why it didn't jump immediately to the next fight myself either. Because you have the whole setup for Transcendence. We have the whole setup for the Theods, and yet for that it's just like a stagnant screen where you gotta scroll around. It just seems backwards.
But
I mean, the arc maps are kind of in themselves.
Yeah, but at least they show you where the cloud dissipates from immediately, so that you know where to go. And it's not going to be like Rose Waldo.
Yeah, that's essentially what the sixth man was. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was jarring that they
Mm-hmm.
designed it like that.
But after that, they announced in game that the mid-month new character is whoever the hell Bart's dad is.
I thought
Eh.
that was kind of cool they added him. Jargon. He's one of Galoop's old friends. Also Bart's his dad.
Yeah, I know some of our friends have varying opinions on this choice.
I mean, 5 only has what, 6 characters? No, 7. 7 characters.
Oh, you
I'm
know
reading the map
that
correctly.
Omar is going to beat your ass if he hears that only 7 characters.
Ring of Fates only has 1. I always tell him that as a counter argument. I'm like, well, Yuri doesn't have any of his friends. He might have his sister, but she's not a unit. But I understand he's passionate about tactics, and I do want to see more tactics unit added myself. But
Yeah.
I'm still surprised they only have 2, but I'm also not surprised Ring of Fates only has 1 unit. But that's besides the point. Well, like you said, that's a lot of people are, like you said, either excited, the Who factor.
I don't even know about excited. I've only heard like 2 people say they're like pretty excited for him, and then the rest is who the hell is he? And yeah, there is.
I guess it's the dad arc, because we got Braska, and now we got him. We got Dargan.
Yeah, and now the other like opinion was, why are we getting another FF2 character? It's like, man, shut up! You haven't gotten an FF2 character since Layla. Like several months ago. It's like, I want to hear that. Kind of like, it's like, oh, another person from this game is like, shut up. Unless it's like someone that's literally that really have like multiple characters and it's like Type 0 or like Final Fantasy 15, where they clearly have a lot of characters in the game and keep on pumping them out. Then yeah. I mean, there's a lot of characters that everyone's like, how come this character isn't in? It's like, I don't know. They probably have a hat, they pick a name out, and it's like, there it is, this person.
Well, if they keep up the dad trend, maybe we'll have Yuri's dad next.
Oh god, then I think you're the only one going to be alone in that boat. It's
gonna
be 1v. It's gonna be 1v everyone.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm the only one that would say, hey, add Latov to the game, or add Kaisa's dad to the game, because Kaisa has a dad too.
And then the entire community is going to have torches and pitchforks coming at you. They can treat you like Frankenstein's monster and just chase after you.
I'll be like, these Crystal Bearers characters are ugly. I'll be like, fine, Vigali's fine, you gotta see the Sid of that game, then tell me who's ugly. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's just one of these days we'll get Riku. But every time we mention her name,
oh god,
another
year.
Yes, she'll be deleted from the game next.
Yeah. Then I'm really surprised about this point that they finally announced that, or they officially announced that the BT rules are like changed. Like anyone can get BT. I thought that was already like announced a while ago. I guess they needed to put it in printing. That this is the new BT rules.
Because I thought when Luna Freya and Garnet got it, I know that was global. Garnet, they said basically the rules have changed.
Yeah, I thought the rules were already changed when wait, was Laguna a main character in a game?
He was the what did you call it? He was like a dual protagonist in 8. Because it was technically Squall's game, but it also had flashback sequences, which were the best part of the game in my opinion, that focused on Laguna's backstory and how the events in the world happened. I definitely recommend playing 8, at least for the narrative flops. You should give it a try. It's not a bad game narrative-wise. Gameplay, it's iffy. But I like it. But yeah, he's sort of that, but he was in the City of Duodecim, the one everyone calls 12. But yeah, that's why he got a BT. Wasn't because he was a secondary protagonist. Or anything like that.
I mean, I'm not sure Gilgamesh is considered an antagonist or a protagonist in 5 either.
Yeah, he was also in the same Dissidia game as Laguna,
Hmm.
and that's why he ended up getting a BT. But he's also a very beloved character because he cameos in a lot of the games,
Yeah.
including 8. Like, if you like seeing Gilgamesh in different games, you'd love to see him in 8. He has one of the best Laguna moments of the entire series. What he does. I don't want to spoil it, but pretty cool. But yeah, they changed it, like you said, from protagonists to um Cydia characters, from Cydia characters to
Love interest, and
yes,
now
and
it's
now
free
it's
for all.
anyone free for all except if your name's Sarah.
Yep. And then they touched up on this point again, where where the global portion of the game got a new stuff, and now everyone's wondering, when are we getting? JP's like, hey, when are we getting this? It's like they're asking, hey, Garnet BT, it's coming later when it's appropriate with the story and all that. It's like, and they're like, okay, and yeah, I think we got all of it.
We pretty much covered all the points.
Mm-hmm. Most of the stuff is usually going to be end up getting smaller and condensed because we're getting better, hopefully.
Yeah, like you always say, we're definitely improving.
Yeah. But any of the last things you want to talk about?
I mean, other than I would just do a final closing thought that, people that are worried about the whole gem situation, if you're somebody that heavily wails and you can't spend, I hope the devs work out something. I would definitely message them respectfully.
Yeah,
Don't
but
don't message Josh. He knows nothing about it. He's not a
he's just
developer.
the
He's just a figurehead.
yeah, he's just the community manager. He doesn't he's not a developer.
Exactly.
He's just the face of the game. Just
I
post
wouldn't even.
your I'm pretty sure there's a spawn main chord for it, but just
Yeah.
respectfully post your criticisms and your opinions and even solutions you think that could work. But yeah, we won't actually know for sure until maybe they posted a follow up in Discord or Twitter, what their solution is, or maybe on next stream they have a full announcement. But hopefully at that point they can alleviate a lot of the stress from that.
Yeah. But yeah, just basically, please don't harass them. Please don't blame Josh for anything. He has nothing to do with that. The Square Enix has a email address you can call them at. They have a customer service line depending on your region. Also be respectful to the person if you call the customer service line. Don't blame them. They're not responsible for that. I'm not trying to patronize anyone, but it's people will do that. I don't want to see that happen. Not trying to direct hate towards anyone. Come up with a good counter argument. Submit it to them. I wish you success. I wish you the best on getting this sorted out. Anyone who doesn't hit that gem cap, I would say spend carefully. But chances are, if you don't spend a lot on the game, I wouldn't worry too much about picking up the monthly Mog Pass or change plans on doing that. But like I said, just spend wisely, be respectful. That's my closing thoughts about this whole gem fiasco.
Agreed. But I think that's gonna be it for us. And thank you, as always, Matt, for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Blobs.
Yeah, as always, I'll put Zodi's stuff down below in the description to check him out. He's been posting more videos. He's been posting way more videos than I have ever been doing for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, check him out.
Motivated to do runs.
yeah, check out his runs, his stuff, and yeah, till next time. See you guys next time.
Hey, you guys take care.